Good morning and welcome to the Witcher Math channel. Just out of curiosity, let's see how this goes. See you later, little buddy. Wow. Okay, so we had a warm-up today in class, which is just a metaphor for, hey, let's practice some strategies for multiplying and dividing rational numbers. So here we go. I don't know if that zoomed, but I hope it did because I did zoom it. All right, so we've been working on multiplying and dividing, mix and match, your choice, fractions and decimals and integers. And it can be complicated. But please know that no matter what happens in this video, you're smart, you're nice, and gosh darn it, people like you. And in addition to that, any strategies I provide here do not represent the only way to do things. As you know, there are many ways to do everything. My goal here is to make things as simple as possible, in my opinion. So if you agree with all that I'm not laying down the law here, I'm just giving you some more ideas, please check the box. Thank you. Okay, first one, we're multiplying all answers written as decimals. This speaks to reading directions and making sure you make your answer look like they say. Okay, so if I'm going to write all answers as decimals, I'm going to bust out my calculator and I'm going to do 3 divided by 5 to convert that to a decimal. I could always just do the math and convert the answer to a decimal, but I think for this one it seems easier to do it this way. And there's a -4. Remember that automatically has a decimal to the right, which we kind of ignore actually. So this really says what's 6/10 of -4. So I go 6 times 4, get my 24. Excuse me. And is the answer, do these two factors have the same sign? Thumbs up for yes, thumbs down for no. Say no out loud. Do it. Yeah. They don't. Therefore, it's going to be a negative answer. And where does the decimal point go? Well, I have one total decimal place, so it's going to go there. And that's it. Moving on. Look, even with all that talking, we're under 3 minutes so far. What about this one? Remember, the answer has to be a decimal. Well, half of it already is, right? So I've got -3 5/10. And we're multiplying. When you just see parentheses, that means multiply. Or the dot. Okay. So 4 4/8. Here's a case where I can do this mentally in my head. I can call that 4 1/2 if I simplify the fraction first. And then you might just be thinking in your head, oh, wait a minute, that's 4 5/10. So why not just do that? And if you're not sure that it's looks like that as a decimal, you know, calculator, numerator divided by denominator, and you would get that 5/10 there. Okay, so calculators are okay, so I'm going to use it. How do I know calculators are okay? Because it does not say that they're not okay. I'm always looking for a reason to use a calculator. I don't know about you. So I'm going to go -3 1/2. I'm off to the left side here. See? But that's hard to see, so I decided not to really put it on the screen. But there, it's not so hard to see. Oh, did you know that's the negative sign on our calculators? Of course you did. You know everything, right? Come on now. -3 1/2 times 4.5. How many decimal places will the answer have? Right, 2. And will the answer be positive or negative? Say it. Yeah, negative with 2 decimal places. Check that out. Our prediction was right. So we have negative 15 3/4. If we had to rewrite that as a fraction, we could easily do that. But the directions say to do that. So we are done there. Next. Should I stick with red or change to pink? Or really shake it up and change to green? What do you think? Okay, pink it is. The people have spoken. So these are both fractions right now. Let's do a little experiment in changing it to a decimal later. Look at us. We're 3 minutes per problem. Doing great. I'll try to go a little faster. So I've got negative 1/4. We're going to use the flip and multiply strategy. That pink is kind of rough to see, but I'm going to stick with it. I will persist. So I'm going to keep the first thing, the negative 1/4, change it to a multiplication problem. Then I'm going to trade the numerator and denominator of the second factor, which puts the 3 on top and the 5 later. The beauty of that is now we just multiply straight across, which gives me a negative product with a 3 on top and a 20 on the bottom. Now we need to change to a decimal. A couple of ways to do that. Simple way is to get the calculator and go 3 divided by 20, top divided by bottom. That works every single time. But a clever way to do that might be, I'm going to take that 3/20. Remember, this is negative. Don't forget about that negative sign. I can't handle how this pink doesn't really show up here, so I'm going to go to green. Sorry about that. So we could also notice that if I go 20 times 5, that's going to give me a decimal. What? How could that be? 15 hundredths, which, as you know, I put the negative sign, and that decimal looks like that. And if you doubt that, go ahead and use the calculator, and that's what you will get. I can almost guarantee that. And finally, here we go with the last problem. We know the answer needs to be a decimal eventually. We can decimalize it right now. Decimalize. We could do it now or later, but if you're thinking, hey, that's just 2.75 downtown, that's how we say it, right? 2 75 hundredths. You can go ahead and do that. And if you're not sure about that, you know. 3 divided by 4 on the calculator will give you that decimal, and then the 2 is the 2. What is the 2? The 2! Ooh! So we've got a decimal divided by a decimal, which is really just asking how many quarters fit into 275. So I'm thinking in my head, 4 of them fits into 1. Therefore, 8 of them fits into 2. And then there's 3 more. 4, 8, and 3 more. I'm going to predict that makes 11. Let's find out. We have no negative signs to deal with here. So, easy. Can you see that? I can, but I'm not watching on a big screen. Even if you cannot, 2 75 hundredths divided by 25 hundredths. 11. This one goes to 11. Back to the directions. Is that a decimal? Yeah, sure it is. There's a decimal right there. Automatic. And that will do it. Look at us, 10 minutes. Boom. And goodbye. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button now, right now, or you flunk. And goodbye.